Hola, hola. These are one of these videos straight out the Cosmic Showers. I was just watching my bestie, Brittany the Cosmic Wifey, and I got just Ancestor says it's time to take that Cosmic Showers. That's another place to be getting my downloads. And I was in the shower lunching. By the way, welcome to another episode of Daily Motivation and Think Differently. And no filter. And happy Sundays, fun days, everybody's. Or whatever days you happen to land on this video. As you know, time doesn't exist. It's a time construct, social construct, yada yadas. I'm your host, Zodog, or Alonzo Hayes. I'm a life coach going through my self-development journey, and I love to showcase exactly the stages I'm going through. So hence, I was in my cosmic shower, and my ancestors and me were lunching. So a lot of my fans were emailing me and asking me about rumor mills, and all these rumors going around. Like, are you and Maja got the tea getting together? Like, where is this coming from? Are you and Freya Ray getting together? I was like, oh, my baby Jace. Are you and Michelle Malloy? I was like, what is going on? Freya Ray, I just started your video a little bit earlier, or yesterday. Man, that's right. That's right, Sunday Fun Days. Yeah. 12:50, if you know, you know. But Freya Ray, I love you. I love all my besties out there. But a lot of the rumor mills are going around just asking me these questions. And there's no filter, so I'm going to be straight up with you. I love all my besties. And I'm taking my time. And we're going to just see organically what happens. But yeah, Freya Ray is just... well, there's no filter. Make sure you get your kids out the room, all right? This is all due respect. Everything I say on here is respect, tough love, yada, yada, whatever. Not whatever, but, I respect women, so they know my sense of humor by now, so they already know. But I was in the cosmic shower, and I was like, man, Freya Ray, did you get your kids out the room, all right? I always give you the chance to get your kids out the room. Because I told you I'm a scale, so it's balance. I'm a vigilante. One day you hate me, the next day you love me, Oh my God. So, put the Castor Troy earmuffs on your kid. I've said that before. But no, I was thinking in the cosmic shower, I was like, man, Freya Ray is a very beautiful girl. Very beautiful woman. And, never mind. That's right. Brittany Cosmic Wife says, don't even hesitate. It's just whatever. It's going to be straight off the tongue. It is what it is. But I'm always down. I was like, man, she got some nice ass titties. She got some Gallagher-sized watermelons under her shirt. You know what I'm saying? I wonder if they're natural. You know what I'm saying? I already got some nip tucks. I got to check. But either or, I would sleep comfortably like a baby on them titties. All day. Respectfully, you know what I'm saying? Like a diving board. I would just be jumping off them bitches every day. Like, people on the ground like, is that a bird or is that a human flying? Every day, if me and Freya Ray together, I'll be jumping off them joints doing cannonballs. I'll slap a bitch. Every time he dropped his phone, he said he'll slap a bitch. I'll slap a bitch. Just sounds funny. It's off the cuff. So yeah, I love my fans hitting me up, asking me questions or to address questions. You know me, I ain't gonna bite my tongue. And Bugs Bunny chews. Once again, let's address this too. I'm a character, okay? I'm always animated. So I was thinking a few days ago, I was like, I'm always going to be performative because that's just who I am in my character. That doesn't mean I'm faking a funk. And that's the last time I'm going to say that because a lot of people are emailing like, what are you doing? Just performing. Sometimes I set myself up when I say, okay, man, maybe I'm thinking I'm being performative. I was like, no, I've always been like that. I've always been a character, That's why people say, you should be in the movies, Johnny. But, yeah, I'm just addressing that. That's just authenticness, People will say anything to throw you off your curve, throw you off your path. But, yeah, this episode is to always raise the vibrations, which is every day in the 5D. It's to raise the vibrations and feel good. And be truthful with when we're going through our past. Why are you talking with your mouth open? It's true. It's a bad habit. And I'm working on when my downloads come in, just for the new people in here. When my downloads come in super rapidly, I tend to multitask. But yeah, let's get to the meat of it. First of all, how's everybody feeling on this beautiful, beautiful Sunday fun days? Are you all enjoying yourselves? Or you feeling the new vibrations in the atmosphere? Are you feeling more connected to source every day? As a matter of fact, a better question, are you feeling more connected to yourself every day? Like yesterday, I purposely told myself I'm going to unplug. Like today, that's what I'm doing. That's why my ancestors are awesome. They said, take a cosmic shower now, because today is going to be a digital detox day. Like very minimum getting on the phone or something if I have to make a phone call or whatever. But like today's a digital detox day, just to be more isolated from me and God to connect. And that's an experiment all of you all can try too. I'm like, I'm just going to take a day off social media. I got some other things I got to do. I got some appointments. My boy, Ill Measure, doing a DJ contest. I know you're going to be successful on that, so kick ass on it. And then I'm going to see you later on, probably Monday, showing that you won. So, do the damn thing, brother. I'll be there in spirit. So, yeah, let's take an experiment every now and then to detox from social media. Because, baby J's, like left and right, I find myself, every notification that pops up on my phone, my attention just immediately jumps towards it. Like if I'm in the middle of a Britney video or a Freya Ray video, Jadina, I always have, my tongue always plays acrobatic games when it comes to Jadina, pronouncing her beautiful name. Like it's just, my collective is just, I'm finding myself in a video and then all of a sudden I get another download. But that's what this 5D shift is going through too. It's teaching us how to get more in tune with the cosmic realm and the earthly realm, and we're merging everything together. So that's why it's literally Charles Xavier downloads and Neo at the same time. So when I find myself getting overwhelmed, I'm like sometimes getting like upset, but then I immediately tell myself to shut the fuck up. I was like, yo, this is dope. This is exactly what I've been telling myself I love the empathness, the intuitiveness. I've been asking for clarity and discernment like a champion. So I'm getting it. Everything's manifesting just like that. So I'm feeling everyone's thoughts and shit. It's crazy. I'm finding myself in the bathroom mirror. I'm like, yo, these are not my thoughts. These are not my thoughts. Let's get back in tune. Let's have fun in this bitch. We came way too far to be like, it's a good thing because my heart's so big, and during this shift, it's even getting more in tune and receptive to everyone else's emotions out there, right? Are you gonna fix your hair or what? You love it. You love it. Yeah. So, you love it. So like I'm getting all these emotions and feeling people's feelings, and I'm just telling myself, yo, you're getting back into your championship mode. You took your power back, you Jerry Maguire'd it, who's coming with me? Who's coming with me? You did all that. You got your shit back. You got some employees from the collective that's joining your frequency, and we're riding together. It's dope. We're starting a new chapter, and we just on this bitch like Thelma and Louise on the highways, man. We live in life. Pretty Woman Adventures is all that shit, man. It's like we change it. We transform it in front of the world together, and it's awesome. And so, hence yesterday, I was like, I'm just having a movie day. I'm tuning into God, doing my downloads, but I'm not going to be so over obsessive. But it's a good trait though, with great powers come great responsibility. So I'm never slacking, but I got to remind myself, and source reminds me, and my ancestors, that we need to balance. We need a balance in life, man. I can't be so overwhelmed and not enjoy my accomplishments. I'd be sitting here sometimes like, man, I got to be reminding myself, say 5 things you're grateful for. And then once I do that, like my house, bada bing, whatever, my life, my connection to source, my Benjamin Button status, reversing age reversal is phenomenal. Everything tangibly manifesting like that, I mean, it is fucking awesome to be anointed and so forth, like we all are once we tap in and we accept our flaws and our imperfections as who we are, but we're not permanently saying this is who we are, so fuck it, you know. We find ourselves saying that. Like I was telling myself the other day, I was cussing that guy. I was like, fuck that, I ain't giving up weed. Shit. If I have to give up my bada bings, the chosen one status for weed, take it. But I've done too much, so I know I'm not going to get, cursed or, disconnected from source if I stop smoking weed, if I don't stop smoking weed. You know what I mean? Because I've done a lot and I'm still continuing doing a lot with my heart. I love people and I'm genuinely passionate about making this place a better place for all of us and literally to operate the way this planet was originally orchestrated to operate off of love. You know what I mean? It's like for real. And that's why a lot of times I find myself getting played because I'm so loving. Can't be doing that. We'll do that later. My ether is on the table. I'm so loving, I find myself getting, you don't align. You love so much, sometimes you find yourself aligning with the wrong people. It's like moths attracted to light. So you get a whole bunch of different insects attracted to your light post. Let's just say that. And so initially you want to embrace everybody, but it's unrealistic at times. I never want to label something as a blanket statement so we can run with it and make it permanent. So I'm being very careful, especially during this shift of what I say out my mouth, because we have the power of life and death. And so when I find myself being Frank Cashless or turning into the Incredible Hulk, I'm asking myself very carefully, hey, should I record this? Should I put this out there for the universe? I don't want to sound contradicting that I love and I hate and I love and I hate. And people's like, oh, you got the Tupac energy. You just don't. Or DMX energy. It is like that. It's just we're all humans going through this experience. And I would find myself disservicing myself and it'll be a disservice to you all if I edited some of my emotions and only showed you good parts and some bad parts, Like I said earlier in a few videos back, I'm not just a highlight reel guy. I'm not just going to be always happy, I feel like that's so unauthentic, as if I'm always going to be smiling, because there's going to be days I'm even cussing myself out and asking myself, hey, should I do this and should I do this? We all find ourselves overthinking. So instead of me overthinking, this is my my portal and my therapist 24/7. I can always record. I don't necessarily have to put it out there in the public, but then when I don't do that, I feel like I'm being a disservice too. I feel it in my soul. So that's when I know I'm doing the right thing, because I'm a vessel for service for others. You know what I mean? So I know when I'm not in alignment, I feel that guilt in my soul. So I'm like, all right, bet. So I'm meant to be doing this. This is helping a lot of people. As uncomfortable as I may be by displaying my rawness to you all, it feels so great afterwards looking back at it. And I'm like, that video hit home. Some videos I'm like, you know what? Maybe not. Maybe I shouldn't release that. And then I have a cosmic rest, or I'm going through the day and I feel the guilt in here. Or not the guilt, it's just a perfectionism. And then after a while, those feelings I have towards the video that I was hesitant about releasing turns out to be the best video. And then Spirit Team reveals to me that the reason it was the best video because it was so raw, and our human self-preservation self didn't want us to release that because it wasn't perfect. It wasn't like, like we want to have a certain image, right? And I've ripped off all of my social masks a long time ago. And sometimes my subconscious wants to put on a more gentler mask for you all, because I don't want to be nasty. Hey, we're golden. This is Love's Real. You won't be able to deny after this. I don't want to be so nasty to everybody, because I really do love people. And that's a good thing. That's a default of mine, is by love. But love can hurt you. So Spirit Team has let me know, hey, the more raw you are, the more aligned you're going to become with Source, because Source has to experience all of these emotions, and we can't just omit certain emotions and say, okay, I'm just going to choose to do this. Me correct myself. That's a good thing to do, is to omit certain emotions, right? Like this money generator lady I follow on Instagram, she has money regulators and subconscious ways to talk to yourself to remove negativity and fear that you have associated with money. Like speak to money as it's an actual person, right? So I was thinking about calling my money Amy, right? For some reason it said Amy. All right, Amy, come closer to me, Amy. And Amy's a substitute for money, but I already feel it tingling in my gut when I say Amy, because it's a person. I can relate to Amy. So now Amy's my money, right? So I was like, hey, I'm comfortable with Amy. You know what I mean? Amy's always going to be with me all through this world. Amy's my sugar mama. All right, and I already feel it right now. So I'm like using those as affirmations and just ways of replacing subconscious fear I may have about large amounts of money, even though I'm super abundant, super wealthy spiritually, and everything, right? When you have God in your life. But I'm realistic with myself too. When it comes to money, it feels like I don't even put a label or a limit on it, because I'm limitless. You know what I mean? I feel like if I put an amount on it, that I'm capping myself on that. But then on the flip side of that token, it's good to have a starting number so you can at least generate that starting number in, right? And then from there you can increase. So there's ways I'm learning. It's perspective, you know? So I'm training myself every day too as well. But I love this self-development journey I'm on, because it's an adventure. It's fearful as fuck at times. It's unknown territory, and that's when I know I'm getting into my Indiana Jones phases and X-File and my Fox Mulder phase, because I'm getting more scared by the day. And I told myself I'm going to be like Mike Tyson. The more fearful I get on situations, the more I have to tackle it like full on and bear hug the bitch, right? That's how I face my fears. And it's fun, it's challenging. I know I'm redundant, but that's the sister of success. So I'm always going to be regurgitating information so it can stay in our brains, because once again, our brains are a CPU, so we got to make sure we insert the right knowledge that we want to use for our personal growth and development through this journey of life. I'm learning how to get out my hermit mode more often. My friends are calling me up, hey, you want to go out? And Garfield is, I'm like, no, let's sit here, let's just do our thing, let's watch our collective. I was like, Zoe, get the fuck out the house. We got a bike now, you know what I'm saying? So let's ride the bike around. Boom, boom, boom. That's just awesome. I feel like a kid again when I'm riding that bike down. It was like, shh. Legs are fucking getting thick again. I'm like, oh yeah, man, these legs are burning. All right, feels like I'm on a 24-hour treadmill on this joint. It just takes me right back to when I came back from Turkey. I went to Bates Middle School, 7th grade? 6th grade. 6th, 7th, 8th. Yeah, that's right. I was there for 3 years, and I went to Annapolis High. 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. Yeah, it was the Black Zach Morris days, boy. I was getting thinner and getting the women on me. Man, that was a good time. Good time. Oh, yeah, but yeah. So, it just reminded me back in the days when I was riding a bike, and that got me thin, because I was a chubby cat back in the day. And then my boys at Bates Middle School always invited me after school to go play soccer, basketball, football, baseball, ride bikes, night tag, neighborhood tag. Go sledding in the wintertime. I mean, we stayed active. And it was funny. It seemed like I was like on a Luther Vandross, gaining weight, losing weight type of like algorithm back then. I was chubby, then skinny, chubby, then skinny. And once I met my boys, back then we were active every day, and it seemed like within a week or two, I lost like 20 pounds and stayed slim. And then all the women were coming at me then, because I was one of those cats that didn't take off my shirt, had love handles. I think I may have said that back in the day on a few episodes back, but I was very self-conscious of my body. I didn't like it. Hence, now I don't hardly wear any clothes. It just feels suffocating, you know what I mean? It definitely feels suffocating with the clothes. And then learning about how soles, like how sneakers were made from. Let's do it. Let's get into it. Fuck it. Stop. Then I learned how sneakers were made back in the slave days. The plantation owners made their own slaves make like shoes to sneak onto the other plantation owners' property and steal cotton and stuff and then come back. So they called the shoes sneakers because you would be sneaking onto the other plantation owners' property and boom, boom, boom. And then the soles, the rubber that they have on the bottom of the shoes that they make, supposedly represent the slave ships and how we were compartmentalized on the ships that they took us from Africa here, and how the rubber on the shoes is rubber so it blocks the natural frequency and electricity from Mother Gaia, Mother Tiamat, through the rubber of the shoes, so we're not getting the natural energies. Clothes block our natural energies from coming in from the solar flares and so forth. Just like you're in a thunderstorm and you ever get struck by lightning, or if your car gets struck by lightning, most likely you're safe because the rubber on your tires of your car is an insulator, so it insulates the electricity, so it won't electrify the metal that you're in. Obviously, and the car is metal, right? So you would be electrocuted. You know, electricity hits metal. It's like a conduit. It's a conduit. So you would be electrocuted in the car, right, if you didn't have the rubber insulation for the tires, you know, bada bing, bada boom. So, like, our own shoes is a weapon, you know what I mean? It's like everything that these powers that be are making it's weaponized towards us. So it's like slowing our development down. That's why they have chemtrails in the air, so we'll be breathing in this shit, making our bones weaker. The fucking fake milk they have, they're like, hey, you got milk back in the days, good vitamin D, and that the milk you were drinking was actually weakening your bones. Remember, the powers that be, everything they say that's good is actually bad. So we need to unlearn everything we learn so we can make sure we don't fall for the okie doke. You know, we can talk about Big Pharma and all the bullshit going on, the laws, and I just don't even feel like I have the energy for it, but that's my duty. But I'm going to say that would be for another time and another topic. So we just got to be very aware of what we're putting in our vessels. Be aware of how we are developing in life and the changes we're going through and what we're going to carry on through the next phase in life. So I'm gonna ride my bike and then, yeah. Because if you're striving to be perfect, I'll tell you right now, you're gonna fail. You're going to fail if you're striving to be perfect. If you're comparing yourself to others for the simple fact of jealousy or hate or enviness, you're going to fail. Because within those actions, you're immediately taking your focus off of yourself onto somebody else. And by doing that, you're neglecting your own self-development. That's a mic drop. Your own self-growth. Your own self-growth. We've all been victim to that. We've all looked at somebody else out of curiosity at first, and then that curiosity becomes obsession, and then that obsession becomes stagnation. And then that stagnation becomes anger, and then that anger becomes depression, and then that depression becomes failure. Spirit team, nasty, right? And it's so easy to get trapped in that subconscious way of thinking. And that because it becomes patterns, right? It becomes a muscle. It's like a muscle memory. Because if you think about it, the more actions we do subconsciously, like on autopilot, it becomes secondhand nature. And then it becomes to the point where, like I said a while ago, that we're so programmed like cyborgs, because we have to have our phone so close to us. We have to have our phone cord when the battery's about to die. 114, if you know, you know. And it's Sunday. Oh, it's July 27th, 114. All right, stay on topic. And the more we become like cyborgs, you love how I came back to the foundation. That was the phone rubber. So I ain't busting cheeks on camera. Yeah, no, I thought he busted cheeks. Yeah. No. So I know I'm psychic, right? You know. How does he know every time? So the more we become like cyborgs, like I said a few videos back, then it becomes like secondhand memory. As soon as you get up in the morning, or the AM, you have your grand rising, you grab your phone right away. You don't even thank your creator for being alive to even grab your phone. You don't think about your breath you still have, your heartbeat, your health, your movements and your phalanges, which are your fingers, your bones that are still together, your ether, hair, your eyes, your vision, your hearing, your taste, your smell. Your bodily functions are still properly working. You're not clogged up. Imagine that. You can't piss. Imagine how scared your ass would be, okay? Trust me, use. Or couldn't take a shit. Yeah, okay, then you'll be, oh God, please let me take a shit. Please, come on, please. Yeah. Then you'll start be thanking the creator and praying for the creator. But he's like, no, I thought your cell phone was more important. Or Mother Tiamat, I thought your cell phone was more important. All right, see, you don't want to be one of them cats. So it's like, we need to be aware that these tools can replace the natural way we used to operate on this planet. These tools can separate us away from Source, and they all have, and we've all been guilty by looking at somebody, thank you Source and Spirit Team, looking at somebody and not being aware, hence is why I brought this up, the technology, because we use it so much we're not even conscious anymore. A lot of us are not, how much we use it. That, yeah, thank you, Spirit Team. I almost lost it again. Like, we've all been victims of looking at somebody just out of admiration at first. And then that admiration becomes obsession. It becomes hate, anger, depression, stagnation, blaming others, and it can become failure if you allow that to become failure. And then based off of all those actions, once again, you're taking your focus off your own self-development, and then years can pass, and then you subconsciously you were unaware of all the time you wasted by looking at this one individual, then looking at another individual, then looking at another individual, then looking at another individual, commenting on their stuff, always thinking about them. They're living rent-free in your head, whatever the case may be. And then you're sitting on your own hands because you're looking at other people's skills and their self-development versus looking at your own measuring stick and seeing where you're at in this game of life. And I think that's where I'm going to leave that on that. So hopefully we can all be more aware of who we are, honestly, and accept it. And know that it's not permanent, because it's all a part of life, and it's all a part of evolution and ascension. So we're not going to be the same. I mean, our bodies change every 7 years, I believe, right? So, and our blood changes every 7 years, something like that. I'm not an expert, but I believe like that is scientifically proven, that we're we don't stay the same. You know, we're always constantly growing, even internally. So that is a clear message from the cosmos and the heavens and, you know, our creator, that we're meant to be changing constantly as well too. There's periods where we feel like, you know, there's periods where you're going to be a certain person for a certain amount of time, just for layman's terms, to get to know that part that God wants you to know during that time, during that season. I like that word, season. And then God's going to provide us another season that we got to get prepared for. It's just like winter, spring, fall, and summer. We got to be prepared mentally and spiritually for these seasons, so we can always be ready, so we can stay ready, so we don't have to get ready. I love you. It's 30 minutes in. Hopefully that resonated with everybody. I love each and every one of you. You all are all doing phenomenally great. I'm excited because I'm about to go back there and watch the rest of Brittany Cosmic Wifey, my spiritual accountant, with their fine ass. Fucking nails is. Salute. You know, all respect. Some people just lucky. My baby cheese. Like, her combination is like what she said, Belizean. I mean, she's Hawaiian, black, and Asian. Balinese. Forgive me, that combination is dangerously sexy. Left shoulder grabbed the mic and said that. We're unapologetically not sorry. I mean, people's genes, if they're beautiful, we're gonna state how beautiful you are, respectfully. But on that note, we love you. Thank you, Brittany, for everything you do. All the Brittany's out there. There's a lot of Brittany's in my life. I was like, Baby J's, Brittany is just one of those names I put in my downloads before I came here. But yeah, love you. Enjoy your happy Sunday fun days. I'm taking a digital detox day. I got a lot to do today. And talk to my best buddy, God. Buddy Jesus. Kevin Smith movie. Dogma. You know. Take care until next time. Remember, everything I do is off the foundation of love. Just imagine this is the slinky of love, all right? You love it. Because if you know, you know. Now, you already see it in your mind's eye. I don't even need to have it here. You already know what it is, y'all. Love ya. Take care. And here's a spiritual hug from me.